What?
Chew for 22. All good?
Yep, testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Brilliant.
It is a game that splits a town and the people within it. Local Derby Day here at Seaford Oval for this round 2 clash of the Bloomers Lawyers Canberra Raiders Cup between the Queanbeyan Blues and the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. It's a fixture that is always filled with anticipation, given it usually produces both exciting and controversial moments, of which we expect plenty of today. I'm Sonny Singh, and with me in the commentary box today for Bar TV will be Vincent Smith-Copy. But for now, John Croyder pops his head in. John, good afternoon.
Hey, Sonny, good to be here. Good atmosphere down here today. A lot of families who had a little Easter egg hunt just before as well. It was good seeing a lot of the kids running around and Masters game, but here for first grade, and it should be a cracking game. Fantastic.
Now, it may only be round 2, but as is the case with any derby, there's more than just 2 competition points on the line today.
Yeah, exactly. 2 new look sort of sides this year. We'll be able to have get a bit of an idea of where both teams sits. Obviously, for the Roos, the big talking point is their young spine, Queanbeyan, fullback, and Trey Williams and Lockie Cooper in the halves today. Also, the big news from about a week ago, Reese Robinson won't be playing today, but he'll be fitting into that Roos lineup somewhere. And interested to see how Joel Munro goes at hooker for the Blues. They've moved Zach Patch into the halves with Terry Campese. And just be interesting just to see how that goes. Obviously, there's been a lot of pressure on Campese in terms of almost the sole creator in that side the last couple of years, but he's be interested to see how they go. They obviously got a really good win against the Sharks. Notched the half-century, so I'm really excited to see how they go. 2 good packs as well.
Now, these 2 sides met twice last season, and they were both very high-scoring affairs. The sides splitting the 2 games. The Blues took the game here at Seaford last year, 38-22, and then the Roos took revenge later on with a 42-34 victory at Sears Workwear Oval. So based on that, you wouldn't be surprised to see another high-scoring game today.
Yeah, 2017, the games were pretty tight between the 2 sides, and I think the one thing that we know is that it doesn't matter if it's going to be low scoring or high scoring. There's not going to be much in it. Form goes out the window in Derby Day. Obviously, the Blues were in horrible form going into the last one in 2018, but they almost won the game right at the death. So Blues are just walking out now with a few of the Blues juniors as well, which is nice to see.
And we'll go into a match preview a little bit later on, but for now, let's quickly go through the lineups. For the Queanbeyan Blues, Matthew Cole retains his spot at fullback. Elia Kotrick on 1 week. Nick Marshall comes into the side for Francis Finefo, who was a late withdrawal. Isaiah Latu and Jake Wheeler in the centres. Terry Campese and Zach Patch in the halves. Josh Hitchens, Joel Munro and Aidan Woods up front. Josh Stuckey returns after a break following the Country Championship final last week. He partners Nick Halalilo and Isaiah Taholo in the second row. On the bench, Sateki Fetuani, Corey Thomas, Steve McLean and Michael Cullen comes in for David Barry. For the Queanbeyan Kangaroos, they are pretty much unchanged from the side that ran out last week. Kane Pagura retains his spot at fullback. Vanua Tonga and Eli Sinoti on the wing. Brian Cronin and Jeremiah Simbican in the centres. Trey Williams and Lachlan Cooper make up the halves combination. And up front, Jordan Bradley, James Eldrick and Jesse Dent, who comes in and starts for Jaden Baxter. In the second row, Nikarua Nagiri, Josh Ayres and Troy Wiley. And on the bench, Lockie Ingram, Jake Kiley, Gideon Afamui and Jaden Baxter round off the side. John, your thoughts on that side?
Yeah, well, I think the Roos are a great side. I'm really excited to see how these young guys go. A lot of them played their junior footy together at the Roos. And they've just come back. So Trey Williams spent a bit of time playing up in Queensland, played a little bit of the Queensland Cup. Lockie Cooper spent the full pre-season with the Canberra Raiders. So obviously talent there. And then Kangaroos, who was really exciting to watch at fullback last year, but then picked up I think it was an ACL injury early in the year, so he's just finding his way back. But a very exciting side. Josh Ayres, I think he'll lead the way. He's been immense for them out on that edge. Also, definitely keep an eye on Nukan Geary, who's been involved in the Monero under-23s for a little while.
Now, both sides come into this game in contrasting form. As you mentioned before, the Blues put 50 past Belconnen United last week. They won that game 50-12. Now, they didn't have it all their own way, but they did ran rampant in that second half. They put on 34 unanswered points, and no surprise at all that Terry Campese had pretty much a hand in everything. I think he racked up 18 points himself and 3 try assists as well. And their new recruits certainly look like solid pickups. I thought Joel Munro looked very sharp out of dummy half, and Isaiah Latu went over for a couple of tries as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's hard to get too much from that, just because it's round one, everything's gelling, and we just have a moment of silence. So it's hard to take too much from it. Obviously, Goulburn are a different prospect to the Sharks as well. So I think we'll learn a little bit more about where these sides are at, but I have a feeling we won't fully know until after the Easter break as well. But very excited to see how they go. Roos probably entered this season as probably looking on paper the stronger side out of the two. But you can never discount the Blues, and obviously they started very well last season before injuries saw their season dovetail. But I better get down on the sideline, get a few photos, and I'll pass it on to Vincent.
All right, thank you for joining us, John, and we'll have Vince pop into the commentary box as well, as we are almost ready to get underway here at Seaford Oval for this round 2 clash between the Queanbeyan Blues and the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. Welcome to the commentary box, Vince.
Thank you, Sonny. Should be in for a great game of footy this afternoon.
And we are underway here at Seaford Oval. Lockie Cooper gets us started, and the Blues will start this game off inside their own half. Taken up out to the 20-metre line now. The Blues, as we mentioned, coming off a big win against Belconnen United last week. Do them a world of good confidence-wise. The Roos not as lucky. They struggled a little bit up against, I think it was Goulburn. The Cornish trio causing all sorts of problems, as did James Orbison, who was fantastic. Just inside their own 30 now. This is Patch. He finds Woods. Munro in at dummy half. They go right from Patch. Opportunity here if they look to go one more. Latu steps back on the inside. Scored a double on his debut last week, Isaiah Latu. Looked very impressive, some very good footwork on him. As it goes to Campese, he puts this one up. Didn't quite hit it as nicely as he liked to, and Nagiri is there to collect the scraps. But the Blues get through their first set of 6. Now this is Sinotti. He's abandoned the man bun this week. Eldrick in at dummy half. Taken in a good tackle there by Josh Ayres and Aidan Woods over the top as well. Back towards the centre. We've got a lost ball here. So an early error from the Roos. And the Blues will get some good field position off the back of an error. Scrum to go down just on the 40-metre line.
Yeah, that's right. First attacking opportunity of the game here will go to the Blues. They completed their first set reasonably well, and then the error from the Kangaroos gives the Blues a chance to attack.
There's plenty of points in this Blues side. It wasn't any one particular area that they scored all their points last week. They have skill all along their back line. So it goes to Campese. Out to Matty Cole. He's taken there just outside his 40. Campese in a dummy half. Finds Jake Wheeler. It's very impressive last week as well, Jake Wheeler. He might have even picked up 3 McIntyre medal points. Munro at a dummy half. Goes to Campese down his short side. He dummies and goes into the line. Taken there by Cronin and Cooper. It's a messy play of the ball. The referee tells him to play it. Munro goes to Hitchens. Made the cross-city jump over to the Blues this season as Munro goes out a dummy half. He finds Taholo. Inside the 20 now. Real opportunity for the Blues. They come left to Campese. Campese puts this one along the ground. It's a good, well-weighted kick. It's well done from Sinotti, though. He picks it up cleanly. Gets his team out of a little bit of trouble. Not a bad set of 6 there, though, Vince.
No. Blues certainly 2 sets, and so far so good. The bit of a better quick kick that time from Terry Campese. Couldn't get them pinned in their own in goal, but they're winning the territory battle early.
Working their way out of trouble now. Here's Vanilla Tonga. Absolute mammoth on that wing for the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. Really looking forward to seeing him go around this year. As Lockie Cooper, he chooses to run. He goes short now. They look to offload the ball. It's deflected by one of the Blues, but it's picked up there by Nick Marshall. He's taken just inside the 30-metre line. He stays in field. Campese in a dummy half now. They come right. Off to the 13. That's Taholo. Slow play the ball now. Munro at dummy half. Dummies once. Probing once again through the ruck. Campese scoots to dummy half. He wants this ball. He goes to Josh Hitchens. Plenty of work early on for Josh. Taken inside the 10-metre line. This time they come right to Campese. Campese out the back to Patch. He hits a short runner this time. He's taken in a good tackle by Josh Ayres over the top. Cole in a dummy half. They go down the blind side. Patch tries to put a grubber through. The ball ends up with the Roos, though. In fact, no, it's been picked up. And they have gone over to score here by the looks of it. It might be Isaiah Latu. The referee conferring with his touch judge. And he awards a try. So the Queanbeyan Blues on the board first through a try to Isaiah Latu. It was a little bit scrappy, but it gets the job done, Vince.
Certainly does. I mean, that's not how I saw the first points of the match coming. It was a nice little grubber kick by Patch, but the ball was bouncing around there, and just as it looked like the Kangaroos had dived on it, I think it was a strip there by Latu that gave him the chance to just dive over in the corner, and 4-0 the Blues already.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion on that edge. A little bit of fortune favours the Blues on this occasion. Regardless, they go 4-0 up with Terry Campese to line this one up.
They just gave themselves the chance, though, to score there. 2 completed sets early as they completed their 3rd set, ended up in points, whereas the Roos here yet to complete a set. So while they got a bit fortunate, you'd have to say they did make their own luck there, the Queanbeyan Blues. Absolutely.
That's Isaiah Latu's 3rd try for the season, so he certainly started his career in Blues colours well. I believe he might have even played some Australian schoolboys for the Wallabies at an under-18s level. As we mentioned before, there is plenty of potency in this Blues attacking lineup. But they got an early opportunity and they took it. Terry Campese looking to extend this lead out. Strikes this one, but it's just away to the right. So it is 4-0 here to the Blues early on. 6 minutes gone. This round 2 clash between the Blues and the Kangaroos. Back underway via Lockie Cooper. He kicks this one close to the sideline, but I think that's Ilya Kotrick. Can almost act as an additional forward for your side. Just look at the size of him. He is absolutely huge. This is Aidan Woods. Just short of his 30-metre line. Can't get an offload away. Now Munro off to Campese. Plenty of involvement early. This time he finds Halalilo. Works his way up almost to the 40-metre line. Munro. Looking for a second run here. This is Taholo. On the halfway line. Goes to Zach Patch. On the outside there, they do get an offload. It ends up with Matty Cole. Josh Stuckey with the offload. This is last tackle now. Looking for Campese. He'll put another one to the sky. This one is tougher to take. They're all looking at each other, and it's knocked backwards by Jake Wheeler and eventually picked up by the Blues. But that'll be the handover on the 30-metre line. They took a chance there, the Roos. Didn't want to borrow that kick from Campese, but in the end it works out. So their set starts now, just short of the 40-metre line. 3-man tackle there, led by Jake Wheeler. It's Cooper in a dummy half. Finds Sinotti. Taholo, penalised for sitting on the tackle for too long. He got lucky with one of his last tackles, and on this occasion the referee punishes him. And this will be the Roos' first attacking opportunity in the Blues half. Opportunity to see what they've got now. This is Nukaru and Nagiri. Was a prominent try scorer last season for the Roos. This whole right edge was very prolific for them. So now it's Jordan Bradley. Takes it up to the 20-metre line. Hitting a 3-man tackle. The numbers are to the left. This is Aldrich. He goes out the back. This is the fullback. And now this is Simbikin. Josh Ayres crashing into the line. Opportunity if they come right, though. Aldrich looking both ways. He comes to the right. Out to Trey Williams. He dummies once. Nobody falling for it on this occasion. Last tackle here for the Roos. They need a result. Aldrich puts a grubber kick in. It is played at. There are a couple Blues players offside, but the bounce favours them. And Matty Cole collects it in the end. And it's good defence from the Blues there, Vince.
Sure was there. The first opportunity we got to see the Kangaroos attack and the Blues defend. And while the Kangaroos, a few dummies, a few runs, the Blues never really looked too tested.
This is the try scorer, Isaiah Latu, and earns his team a penalty. This one for being inside the 10. Terry Campese with that booming right foot of his. The Blues start their set halfway, on the halfway line. It's Campese. On to Hitchens. As we mentioned, he's gotten through a lot of work early on. Munro on to Taholo, but this one is put down by Woods. So they let off the hook on that occasion, the Roos. Simbikin. Impressed with some touches last week. It is a rather youthful side, this Queanbeyan Roos lineup. Aldrich out of dummy half. Broke down a little bit, but they may have found a little bit of room on the outside. That was Josh Ayres in the end, Aldrich. Now this is Troy Wiley. Screaming for it right. It comes that way. Out the back. Might have been touched there. Lockie Cooper now. Steps past Campese. Looking for support or any sort of runner. This ball goes to ground and it's picked up by the Blues. It's Jake Wheeler. Right place, right time in the end. Lockie Cooper with a bit of a leg pull. Lucky not to be penalised. Campese now goes out to Nick Marshall. Tackle just short of the 30-metre line. Another opportunity for the Blues now. Halalilo goes to Campese. He finds Taholo. Looking for a short runner. Doesn't find one. But takes a hit up and now we got another penalty. This one for a high tackle. Well, the penalty count's starting to mount, as is the pressure that the Blues are applying on this Roos lineup.
Yeah, another test here for the Kangaroos defence. They're sort of inviting pressure the way their passes not going to hand, giving away penalties. Interesting to see just what the Blues put them to the sword here. Yeah,
no thoughts of taking the two from Terry Campese as Aidan Woods takes this one into the line. They smell blood in the water, the Blues. They go to Hitchin. He makes his way inside the 10, looking for an offload as well. It's a good tackle over the top. Munro in a dummy half. Out to Woods. Goes to Campese. Feigns once, then out to Wheeler. In fact, he's gone over. Jake Wheeler with a little bit of strength at the line. And at the moment, it's been a bit of a field day for the backs for the Blues.
Sure has. That was almost a bit too easy there. Matthew Cole, bit of a double pump and then lays it on for Wheeler, but sort of just ran at the fence. Didn't really beat anyone, but he just fell over the line. That was probably got to muscle up in defence here, the Kangaroos, or it could get a bit ugly.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we mentioned, I think that's Jake Wheeler's second try for the season as well. So it is clicking for the Blues early on in 2019. There's very little surprise that Terry Campese has had a hand in most of them. But I've been impressed with Matty Cole and his start to his season with the Blues. He's shown a lot of direction. He's chosen the right option more often than not. He's fitted into this Blues side nicely. We're about 14 minutes in. The Blues 8-0 up over the Kangaroos. Terry Campese lining this one up. Not the simplest of kicks, but on the preferred side for a right-footed kicker. Roos have got to work themselves back into this game as Campese moves in. He hits this one nicely, goes straight over the black dot and extends the Blues lead out to 10. So it is 10-0 after 14 minutes here at Seaford Oval. As we mentioned, plenty of work for the Roos to do. I think the last game we called at this ground, it was a side that came back from 30-0. That was in the grand final last year. They didn't win it. They got it back to 30-all. As Aidan Woods brings this back from the back fence. Storms into the defensive line. It's good contact. Took a couple to bring him down. Munro to Campese. He lofts this one up. Oh, it was almost a hospital ball. And Jake Wheeler does well to hold on to it. Tunotti almost up with the intercept there. Campese now. He goes to Halalilo. He beats one. Doesn't get past the second and third, though. It's another quick play of the ball, though. There's a bit of momentum here for the Blues. This time it's Hitchens. He goes into the defensive line. Taken just over his 40-metre line. Munro out to Patch. This time it's Stuckey. He does get another offload away. Good hands by Kotrick. And now there's trouble. He gets inside the 40-metre zone. This is a good set after points for the Blues. He's a bit slow to his feet. Out to Campese now. He goes to the air once again. Again, the Roos players, there was a little bit of hesitation from Sinotti there, but now he gets on the outside. He might have pulled up a little bit then as well. He gets to his feet a little bit slow. Looks to be okay. It's tackled there by Wheeler, who's involved in this one again as well. Halilo over the top. That was Brian Cronin. Another one of those prolific try scorers last season for the Roos. Hitchens and Munro in that tackle. Now they go, they play short here. Taken in a three-man tackle just short of the halfway line. Aldrich goes to Jordan Bradley. Taken in a two-man tackle. Campese involved once again. Now this is Cooper. They choose to run it. Nuka Nagiri here. He's taken. Wasn't the worst option. He almost made it through. But it was last tackle, so we'll have a handover just on the 30-metre line. Better attacking set though, Vince.
Sure was. At least they tried something. And while that last tackle option, you would sort of question it. Maybe a kick would have been the smarter move. At least for one of the first times this match, the Queanbeyan Blues didn't look in complete control in defence. So a bit more of that, and maybe the Roos might start to challenge the scorers, which, as you mentioned a couple of times, we have had some high-scoring clashes between these two and at this ground. So certainly 10 points is very far from insurmountable.
We do have one of the Roos players down in back play. I'll let you have a look and see who it is exactly. The referee might have stopped play exactly for that. Yeah, the referee not in any hurry to speed this up, but he's coming back into the defensive line now. Just keep a close eye on him. Might have been Josh Ayres. Yes, it was. Munro in a dummy half. Taken in a four-man tackle now, just outside the 40. It's Josh Hitchens once again. Now on to Woods, his front row partner. Was in the media this week, Josh Hitchens, talking about how quickly the first 20 minutes of last week's game felt to him and the rest of the players. That's typical of round one. It's a little bit of rust. Match fitness is something you build up over a couple of weeks. But he certainly started the season very well as Campese gives a short ball off to Halalilo now. Munro looking for Campese once again. He puts a banana kick in. He's looking for the goalpost here. He doesn't find it. It's taken there by Pagura, who does a great job to get out of the in goal.
That was brilliant work there by the Roos fullback there. He looked trapped in the in goal for all money.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on him. It was a good kick chase by the Blues as well. A lot of promising signs in attack for them. Just holding on at the moment, the Roos. This is Whenua Tonga. Looking to take some pressure off his forwards. Done a lot of defending early on. This is Jordan Bradley. Just on their 30-metre line. Early kick here from Aldrich. Well, his own player almost got in the way there. On this occasion, it's cleanly taken by Nick Marshall. And they'll start this set out in a very good position, just short of the halfway line. This is Matty Cole. Out of dummy half. Steals a few metres. A little bit of lack of communication there from Aldrich and his halves as Jake Wheeler almost breaks the line on this occasion. Campese in a dummy half. Now it's out to Taholo. Just simple direct play from the Blues at the moment. So look to extend this 10-0 lead. Campese in a dummy half. He goes out the back. This time to Zach Patch. He goes straight through, does he? He does. Zach Patch steps on the inside. It's a good one-on-one tackle, but Pagura stays down. Wouldn't be surprised to see the ref stop it here. He does. He may be down injured, but I think he's certainly saved a try here.
He certainly did. Patch was straight through. He just needed someone in support. He looked around, looked left, looked right, but in the end it was a great tackle by Pagura, but he does stay down injured, unfortunately.
He was another one that impressed last week, came Pagura. He's a little bit groggy at the moment. It's not the worst result for the Roos, as we mentioned. They've done a lot of defending so far in this first half. And the Blues starting to get a little more momentum in attack.
Yeah, so far possession's been pretty lopsided in favour of the Blues. And that Roos defence will begin to tire. It is only round 2. That match fitness isn't at peak. So they'll be taking some deep breaths here. And if they can just complete their sets and get a bit more of the ball, then perhaps their attacking chances will come.
Well, there were a number of tries scored against them last week that came through the middle. So it doesn't surprise me to see the Blues playing a very direct game of football against the Roos, just looking in and around the ruck for any opportunities. And so far, they've come very close to poking their head through a couple of times. And that time, Zach Patch, as we mentioned, going through the line for the first time. So it goes to Taholo. Back on the inside to Aiden Woods on last tackle. Wow, that is a prop forwards try if ever you'll see one.
That was a beautiful set move as well. On last tackle, never any eye on kicking. Let's go the inside pass to Woods, who, as I said, no chance of a kick. He was just running hard, running fast, and a try under the post. That's great work by the Blues.
Well, that is, as we mentioned, they did not think about kicking in the slightest. It was an inside ball to the big prop forward who steamrolls his way over. And, well, as nice as the set play looked, it looked a little too easy from this front as well.
It did. They did have Campese out the back acting as a bit of a decoy, I guess, to infer they were going to go the kick. But just like the second try, you would have liked to see a bit more strength in defence from the Roos, as Woods never looked like being stopped.
We're at 14-0 and the Blues continuing their attacking juggernaut. 50 points last week against the Belconnen United Sharks. Already up to 14 here against the Roos in the first instalment of the local derby for this season. Campese with an opportunity to take his team out to a 16-0 lead after just 21 minutes. There are ominous signs here for the Roos. As he moves in, he could have thrown that one over. It's 16-0 here at Seaford. 21 minutes gone. Blues over the Roos. Lockie Cooper gets us underway once again. And it's Josh Hitchens that returns the ball with a little bit of interest. He gets it back to the 20-metre line on first tackle. Taken there by Josh Ayres. He looks all right now. And this is the number 17. This is Steve McLean with his first involvement of the game. Brother of North Queensland Cowboys prop Jordan McLean and the former McIntyre medalist of 2011. Not a bad recruit for this season for the Blues. It's a sign of their depth that he's coming off the bench. This is Latu, plays the ball to Campese. He runs it into the line, gets through a couple, looking for an offload, throws a long cut-out pass to Kotrick. Kotrick, they've got plenty of numbers out there, the Roos, and they handle him easily on this occasion. Bit of second phase play from the Blues. This is Cole. Hits it short to Taholo. Broke down a little bit in communication on that occasion. This is Munro in a dummy half. He finds Campese. Campese. He just plugs this one into a corner. Expecting it to sit up. It's a good pickup from Sinotti. It's a difficult one to take at his toes, but he did well to take it. And a good kick from Campese and just a good set from the Blues after points once again, Vince.
Yeah, I think that's been the story of the match so far. The Blues, they haven't done anything super spectacular, but they've completed the majority of their sets. They're putting good kicks, and they've come up with 3 tries already, whereas the Roos only completed 4 sets for the match, and we're over halfway through the first half.
Yeah, possession is telling, and it's all been with the Blues so far in this game. Not a lot of attacking opportunities for the Roos. As we mentioned, 16-0 down, and the scoreline reflecting it. They're taken just short of the halfway here. Nagiri looking for a penalty. He doesn't get one on this occasion. Aldrich out of dummy half. Good tackle by his opposing number 9. Joel Munro over the top. Taholo into assist. He gets up to his feet gingerly. Eldrick. Now the kick goes up from Trey Williams. Matty Cole under this one. It goes behind. He lets it bounce. It's a difficult one to take. And the bounce favours the Roos. And out of nowhere, Brian Cronin strolls over to score his first for the season. Beg your pardon, I think that's his second try for the season.
How about that for a try? That was unreal. An excellent spiralling bomb, but just Matthew Cole never looked a chance of getting a hand to it. He did not look at ease at all. And then the bounce, a bit fortuitous, but as we mentioned earlier with the Blues, you make your own luck, and the Kangaroos by far the best set of the match. An excellent kick, and it's ended up in some points.
Absolutely. A kick is only as good as its chase, and on that occasion, they got a couple lucky bounces, but they're in the right spot at the right time, and Brian Cronin crashes over for his second for the year. Gets them back into this match. They needed that. Boy, did they need that. It had been all the Blues for the first 24 minutes of this game. A rare opportunity inside the Blues half. They take advantage and they put points on the board. Lockie Cooper lining this one up. It was another one that spoke to the media early on in the week. Had a lot of good things to say about the club and a lot of the juniors coming in. He's had the opportunity, not just today, but for this season, to play with a lot of the juniors that he's come up through the systems with. And he's obviously got big shoes to fill. No Brent Crisp this year for the Kangaroos, the 2017 McIntyre medalist. It's a big loss for them. A lot of points to replace. Lockie Cooper's made a good start to his time with the Kangaroos in the top grade as he moves in. He hits the upright on this occasion, and he's got this one in. So it creeps inside that left upright, and the Kangaroos are on the board. It is 18-6 here now. Sorry, beg your pardon, 16-6 here with 25 minutes played. A nice little confidence boost for the Kangaroos. Kick-off from Terry Campese gets us back underway. And this will be first opportunity now for the Kangaroos to start putting a little more pressure on them following their first points. That's Jaden Baxter with the first carry. Almost out to the 30-metre line, taken in a 3-man tackle. Scott McLean involved in that tackle. Might have got lucky a little bit there. Might have hung on a little bit too long. Halalilo in the tackle. And Munro in there to assist as they look to go right through Cooper. Cooper turns it back on the inside for Nagiri. Up to the 40-metre line. Taholo once again involved in that tackle. This one's inside the 40. Trey Williams looking for a 40-20. Has he got the length? He does. That's a 40-20 from Trey Williams. Fantastic kick. And all of a sudden, you sense a bit of a shift in momentum here, Vince.
You certainly do. That was a brilliant kick. But it's amazing just how quickly this game can change. Blues, with all the momentum, playing brilliantly, but then a lucky bounce or two for the Kangaroos, and then a 40-20, and all of a sudden they're well and truly back in this.
Yeah, nothing lucky about that kick. That was supreme from Trey Williams. As the Kangaroos go back on the attack now. This is Troy Wiley. Just a metre short of the line. Aldrich in a dummy half. He looks both ways. He goes right to Cooper. Cooper dummies himself. He scored one last week. That might have been stripped out. Referee says loose carry. The Roos not happy about the decision. But it's a missed opportunity for them. Lockie Cooper, as we mentioned, he did score a nice try last week. Looked to do similar today. Stepped off that right foot. In the end, couldn't hold on to it. And the Blues let off the hook. And promising signs for the Kangaroos. Starting to work their way into this game. From the scrum feed. This is Zach Patch. Not often you'll see your halfback take the first hit up off a scrum. Munro. Out to Stuckey. He captained the under-23 Monero Colts last week. He did not back up the next day. Was the only player from both of these sides not to back up, which I'm sure his teammates are giving him plenty of stick about. Campese looking to go wide. And it's a good run from Halalilo. He's been strong in their opening 2 weeks. Now Campese in a dummy half. Might have been forward. Play on's a call. Matty Cole down that blind side. They're up to the halfway line on last tackle now. Munro goes to Campese. Again, just plugging it down this left corner. And Suniti, well, he does well to just knock it back into the infield. And the referee says it's backwards. It's a correct decision. And now we've got a penalty. We've got a shoulder charge.
Yes, unusual technique there on the kick return, but certainly paid off for him.
Yeah, he's not up to his feet just yet. Eli Sinoti, beg your pardon. But he earns his team a penalty. Lockie Cooper finds touch just inside his own 40. As we mentioned, you do sense momentum shifting a little bit in this game. It was a good set from the Blues on that occasion. There's a little bit more confidence about what the Kangaroos are doing. Now Lockie Cooper. He gives it off. Now we've got another lost ball here. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Just when you think things are starting to change, you come up with an error. Jordan Bradley, the guilty party on that occasion. Although, looks like it's been changed to a penalty for a high tackle. Well, my apologies, Jordan Bradley. The whistle from the ref indicated a loose ball, a loose carry. A high tackle given against the Blues. So now a real opportunity for the Kangaroos to get themselves back into this game. Encroaching on the Blues 30-metre line. Brian Cronin gets us back underway to Lockie Cooper. And this is Jordan Bradley. Number 14, Lockie Ingram onto the field now. Looks like Aldrich might have gone off. He did look very groggy not too long ago following a big hit from Munro. This is Ingram. Probing through the ruck. Gets him inside the 10-metre zone. Real opportunity here for the Roos. This is Wiley in a dummy half. He goes to the number 10. Oh, Jaden Baxter. Talk about impact off the bench. That's another good prop forward try. Ran a good line, beat one, and then went over relatively untouched, Vince.
Certainly did. It was a bit different to Woods' try. And he used a bit of footwork there, the big front rower, but certainly all counts. That was an excellent piece of footwork to beat his man and then dive straight through under the post. And all of a sudden, the Kangaroos have a chance to bring the margin down to 4 points.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think any front rower with footwork probably needs to have his front rower licence revoked. But he showed some good skill there. beat one tackle. Right foot step to get over the line in the end. And as you mentioned, the Kangaroos right back into this match. A couple of penalties go their way, a bit of luck. Sometimes that's all it takes. Get inside the minds of your opposition. And as you mentioned, they're going to be just 4 points behind. And given the start that the Blues had, that's quite astounding. As you'd expect, Lockie Cooper maintains his perfect record for the day. He goes 2 from 2. And the Queanbeyan Blues hold on to their lead, albeit a 4-point one, 16-12, with about 8 minutes to go in this first half.
Yes, after 20 minutes or so, the Kangaroos really needed to respond, and they've done that in kind. They now, plenty of momentum with 8 minutes left. They're a chance of going into the break with a lead, which seemed unfathomable about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, just some good controlled and patient football from the Kangaroos. Yes, oh dear. And just as we give them a wrap, we've got a drop ball in the in goal. It's Trey Williams, the guilty party. And this should be a line dropout. The referee is standing at the 10-metre zone. I thought he might have taken that, might have dropped that in the in goal. And yeah, the referee's corrected his decision.
I was going to say the Kangaroos would have been a bit hard done by there to have considered a scrum 10 out, but the correct decision in the end.
So this is clutch time for the Blues. They've been under a fair bit of pressure in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Opportunity to respond now. Can they bounce back and curb this momentum once again? Lockie Cooper with the dropout. This one, it's a decent one, goes 45, taken on the full. And now this is Corey Thomas that brings it back into the line. He's on the field. Taken 30 metres out from the opposition line. This is Scott McLean. Takes 3 to tackle him. Just inside the opposition 30. Munro in a dummy half again. He goes out the back to Campese. Out the back again to Patch. Looking for Cole. He steps on the inside. Taken in a good tackle down low by Simbikin. And over the top by Trey Williams. Now this is the 11. Josh Stuckey. Just a couple metres short of the goal line now. Real opportunity for the Blues. Munro in a dummy half. He goes low to Campese, who lets it bounce. And as a result, the play shuts down. He gets an offload away. Bit of hot potato now. Goes to Taholo. He crabs across field, then turns it back on the inside. Now it's Zach Patch. He gets up, steps past a couple. Can't go any further. They're inside the 20. It broke down a little bit for them on that occasion. Now to Campese. He puts this one high to the air. He's looking for Marshall and Wheeler. Might have been a knock on there from the Roos. Play on the call from the referee. But they drive him back into the in goal. And they're going to call knock on against, I think, Jake Wheeler. So we'll have a handover 10 metres out from the Kangaroos line. Well, I saw it a little bit differently. Vince, what did you think?
No, for me, the referee made the right call there. I thought Wheeler running through just bobbled it a bit, going for the catch.
You're supposed to side with me on every occasion, Vince, but that's all right. Fanua Tonga looking to get his side out of the danger zone now. Would love to see more of him. This is Simbikin. The backs getting their fair share of hard work now. Just short of the 30-metre line. Taholo and Munro involved in the tackle, and they'll be there again. His tackle count would be fairly large, I reckon. Taholo's had a lot of work in this first half. This is Trey Williams going on a trek. Taken just short of the halfway line. Lockie Ingram goes right. Oh, this is Jake Kiley. Looked to be falling as he went into the tackle. And Ingram goes to Trey Williams. They put another high kick up here. And after the last one, it's a good tactic. They let this one bounce. And Campese. Well, that's leadership material. He's in the right place at the right time. He's not happy about some of the extra attention he received on the ground. As Kotrick takes a hit up. Gets him beyond the 20-metre zone. Hitting a good three-man tackle. They get him on his back. And a couple of slow play the balls for the Blues here. Some tough work ahead. This is Halalilo. Taken by Bradley and Ingram. Plays it on the 30-metre line. Was he off the mark? Referee lets it go. Scott McLean looking for another offload. We know he's got one in his game. This is Joel Munro out to Campese. This is inside the 40. Has he got the angle on this occasion? Not quite to kick a 40-20, but he finds open space, and it's taken there by Pagura. It's a broken line for the Blues, though, and he will make it back just outside his 20. It was a good kick from Terry, but not the best chase. Now this is Sinotti. Back out to the 30. Taken there by Stuckey. They look to go down the left. This is Simbican now. Again, it looks a little bit broken for them, and as we say broken, the play breaks down. And they come up with an error, and Kotrick picks the ball up on 0 tackle. Another opportunity for the Blues to go further in front. This is Matty Cole. Gets an offload away. Once again, a bit of hot potato by the Blues. Goes out to Halalilo. Looking for an offload. Can't get this one away. Munro looks to go right. This is Scott McLean. Another strong hit up from him. Gets him inside the 20. Chances both ways for the Blues. They go right to Stuckey. Josh Stuckey looking to get his hands free. He wrestles and turns in that tackle. We can't get away. Now Munro goes to McLean. Again, just hard up the middle. Nothing spectacular about it, but it's effective. Slow play the ball on this occasion. Munro out to Campese. Campese hits to Holo short. And again, it's another offload, but this time Munro puts it down. And they're let off the hook again, the Roos. Just through one pass too many. We've seen a little bit of enterprising offloads from the Blues over the last 10 minutes or so, but on that occasion it comes unstuck. It's good defence from the Roos, Vince.
It certainly was. They were holding up strong, but I did just feel the Blues were trying a bit too much there. With only a couple minutes before half-time, I would have liked to have seen them just play a bit more safe. Try maybe a Campese dribble into the in goal, but just that one pass too many has given the Roos the chance to bring it out from their own end.
Yeah, certainly looks like they've changed up a little bit of what they were doing early on. Regardless, it goes to Cooper, throws a good short ball out to Cronin on this right edge. He's hitting a good tackle, though, by Nick Marshall. It's a late inclusion into this side for Francis Finefo. He's holding his own on this left wing. This is Ingram, out to Cooper. Cooper puts this one through. And this one is taken by Jake Wheeler. We'll have to play this ball back on the mark. Again, probably not the fifth tackle option you were looking for from Lockie Cooper on that occasion. Now this is Nick Marshall. Just a minute and 30 to play before half-time. This is Scott McLean. He's got through plenty of work in his time on the field. It's been very impressive. Run a couple of very nice offloads. Munro in at dummy half. Goes to Patch. Now Stuckey. Hits short. It's a good ball as well. And this is Latu. We know he's got speed. He's got Simbican chasing him on the outside and he catches him. Real opportunity for a quick play the ball. They get one. Patch goes out to Stuckey. Stuckey runs it on. This is Kotrick. Good luck stopping him. Ilya Kotrick will score the try, but put that one down to Isaiah Latu and his stepping work to get them in the field position.
You're exactly right. That was Latu's run, set up the play there. Brilliant play. And he kept his head too. You could see him looking around for a pass or a kick. But he decided to take the tackle. And then when you give the ball to Kotrick, one-on-one, 10, 15 metres out, there's not a defender in the world that can stop that big man. And the Kangaroos come back just as it looked like it was taking shape. The Blues score again on the brink of half-time. Absolutely.
As we mentioned, once you get Kotrick one-on-one, it's going to be some effort to take him down when he's just 10 metres out from the line. But that's what a good finisher does. Just on the end of those plays, as we mentioned, Isaiah Latu. He showed great footwork last week against the Sharks, and it was on display again today. It's good cover defence from Simbican. It's good work from dummy half as well from Munro, Patch. They got the ball out there. Stuckey didn't overplay his hand. And it's a good try for the Blues. And might just give them a little more breathing distance going into this halftime break. And maybe make Terry Campese a slightly more relieved coach. It's a hefty blow just before halftime for the Kangaroos, though, Vince.
It is. They would have been hoping to hold them out there. And if they headed into the break down by just 4, I think they'd certainly take that. They haven't been at their best. And the Blues, well, it's sort of come in waves, but you would say the Blues were the better side in the first half. But if the Kangaroos could just keep it close they'd backed themselves to turn things around, but a Campese conversion here to make it 10 points, make things a bit trickier for the Roos and just a bit more comfortable for the Blues.
Currently 2 from 3 for today, and you can make that 3 from 4 for Terry Campese. He extends their lead out to 10 at half-time. So it'll be the Blues that play from in front. It is 22-12 here at half-time. Vince will quickly go through the try scorers.
Yeah, so Latu started things off for the Blues, scoring first, and then we had Jake Wheeler scoring in the 14th minute to give them a 10-0 lead, before Aidan Woods crashed over to give them a 16-0 lead, at which point the Kangaroos comeback started with Cronin crossing, followed by Baxter to make things 16-12, and then, as we just saw, Kotrick scored as a siren sounded on half-time to give the Blues that 22-12 lead.
Yep, great half of footy. We'll be back in just a few moments with all the second half action here at Seaford Oval. We're back at Seaford Oval for the second half of this round 2 clash between the Queanbeyan Blues and the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. Currently 22-12 in favour of the Blues after a what was a contrasting first half. The first 20 belonged pretty much to the Blues. Managed to get out to a pretty healthy lead, but off the back of a rather fortuitous kick from the Roos, they managed to score off that and work their way back into this game. And I think 22-12 is a fair reflection on how the game's been so far, Vince.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think that first 20, as you said, was all Blues. You don't see many openings to a match quite so one-sided, but the Kangaroos did come back, and the next 15 or so was all them until they conceded right on the brink of half-time.
As we're back underway, Terry Campese gets us started, and this kick finds the grass, eventually finds its way off to the Roos, and this is Baxter bringing it back into the line. Taken there in a two-man tackle by McLean and Corey Thomas. And this time they go right. This looks like Pagura. He saved a try in the first half, beg your pardon, that's not Pagura. He did save a try in the first half, though, as Lockie Ingram steals some metres out of dummy half. Gets him out almost to the 40. This is Trey Williams. He dummies once, he almost gets through. It's a good tackle there by Stuckey. Might have been a flop there by Isaiah Latu. They let this one go. So Lockie Ingram goes to Cooper. Now to the 15. That's Jake Kiley. Feel like we haven't called a lot of him today. Ingram goes to Trey Williams. He puts this one high. It's another one of those awkward midfield bombs, and Matty Cole on this occasion. Oh, he's put down another one.
He's struggling under the high ball today.
You're not wrong. I think he took that one cleanly. It was just a good defensive effort in the end. As Lockie Ingram tries to pinch a couple more out of dummy half. Real opportunity to kick the second half off with some points here for the Roos. Cooper in a dummy half. Had his hand hit in there, and now it'll be a penalty. Terry Campese, the guilty culprit on that occasion. Real chance to put some pressure on. Lockie Ingram, he chooses to tap. This is Jake Kiley. Into the line, couple metres out. Just a regulation hit up. They go out the back now. This is Trey Williams. He hits a number 12, that's Josh Ayres. Couple metres out from the goal line now. He plays it on top of Zach Patch. The pass as a result over the head of Williams. He just turns it back on the inside to Jordan Bradley. Ingram goes to Williams. Out the back now. Cooper hits the short man. He might get an offload away here, Nagiri. He holds on to it. Now Cooper in a dummy half. He hits Kiley. He's had 3 involvements in this set. That'll be last tackle. They haven't really gone anywhere here, the Kangaroos. Hasn't been the most enterprising set. This is last tackle. Trey Williams. He puts the kick through, but it is far too big. And that'll come out to the 20, and that's a disappointing end to what was a disappointing set for the Roos, Vince.
Certainly was. I don't think they could have dreamed for a better start after they forced the error early on, but that set, it just sort of went from one side of the field to the other without any penetration, and they finished it with that poor kick.
Well, as a result, be a 7-tackle set starting from the 20-metre line. This is Munro in a dummy half. He finds Barry. He's hit well by Simbican, and they're claiming a knock-on here. They don't get the call from the referee. Munro goes to Stuckey. He's been strong on this right edge, and he gets an offload away to Kotrick. And they manage to take him to ground, but not before he makes it to the halfway zone. Matty Cole in a dummy half now. It's a poor ball out of dummy half. Eventually finds its way to Scott McLean. It broke down a little bit, but now another offload. Now another ground ball. And it's a bit of hot potato once again for the Blues. This is to Halalilo now. Oh, it's enterprising stuff, and it's entertaining when it works. Taholo. Good one-on-one tackle on that occasion by Jaden Baxter. Campese out the back to Patch. Now onto Latu. You see that footwork in it once again. He's looked threatening every time he's touched the ball, Isaiah Latu. Now Campese. He's got Stuckey on the inside. He chooses not to use him. And Pagura takes it cleanly and will bring it back out into the field of play. Once again, good work from Pagura. It was a nice kick from Campese and a nice chase. Simbican. The backs. A lot of hard work to do here to get them out of their danger zone. Good, entertaining set of 6 by the Blues. Some pressure building. It's third tackle now, and they're not even out to their 20 or thereabouts. This is Lockie Ingram. He finds Josh Ayres. He knows only one way, and that's forward. He looks to get an offload away. He can't. Taken over the top by Stuckey. It's another slow play, the ball. This occasion, Scott McLean runs out of the line looking for a big shot. And tackle wrapped up in the end by Michael Cullen. And last tackle, Lockie Cooper. He gets a good-looking torp away. This is tough to take these ones, but Matty Cole does well. He takes it inside his 30 and brings it back with some venom. And that's all. That's a big shot. He gets a quick play of the ball, but there's a fantastic tackle from Lockie Ingram. And this is Matthew Cullen now taking it into the line, just short of the 40-metre zone. The Blues in good attacking field position thanks to that Matty Cole kick return. Now back to Scott McLean. He's played some decent minutes today. Joel Munro in at dummy half. He goes to the right. He finds Josh Stuckey. He is fitted in seamlessly on his return to first grade this week. He gets up to play it. Munro shapes to go inside, goes out to Campese. He runs himself, throws a good ball back on the inside to Cullen. He throws a flick pass. Oh, it's knocked on in the end by Pulgara, but we'll call the pass forward. Well, enterprising play from the Blues again, Vince.
A little bit of spectacular play there. That was excellent inside ball by Campese, and I thought the Blues were through there for all money. But the pass by Cullen just not quite finding its target. But they've earned a scrum here, so it's not all bad for the Blues. They'll keep the foot on the accelerator and keep the pressure on the Kangaroos.
I think you'll find it's a forward pass rule first, so we'll have a scrum feed to the Kangaroos. But gee, Michael Cullen, he probably didn't expect to find himself in that much room. But ominous signs for the Roos early on. A couple of warning shots fired by the Blues. As we're back underway, this is for Nuatonga. Feel like we haven't seen as much of him as we'd usually expect to as well. As Baxter takes this one up. Just beyond his own 20-metre zone. Ingram in a dummy half. This is Jordan Bradley taken in a good low tackle by Isaiah Latu. Gee, he's been good today. He's been very good today, Isaiah Latu. Now a three-man tackle just outside their own 30-metre zone. Halalilo and McLean involved. A kick out from Lockie Ingram. Looking for that 40-20. I tell you what, it's not a bad one. He gets a wicked bounce, though. It favours the Blues. And it'll be Nick Marshall who brings it back out to his 30. And Matty Cole out of dummy half now. Both markers went the one way, and he might have found some room down this blind side. Picks up 15 to 20 metres, and he'll get a quick play the ball away here too. It's Marshall on to Campese. Campese looking to go back down that blind. Now he gets an offload away. Now McLean, oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, as we mentioned, it's enterprising and entertaining when it comes off, but sometimes it's just one pass too many. I think you're asking a lot of a prop forward to reach that far down to pick up a ball as well.
Yeah, I think, well, it looked like he dropped it pretty much cold with no pressure. He probably shouldn't be getting the ball thrown to him in that position, particularly not at the big man's ankles.
Another let off for the Kangaroos. This is Simbican off the scrum feed now. He's taken in a two-man tackle over the top by Stuckey and Taholo. Now Lockie Ingram. He goes right to Kiley, Jake Kiley. Again, heavy involvement since he's come off the bench. He'll play it just outside the opposition 40. Ingram at dummy half. Raz a good run. Now he finds Cooper in some space. He's got support either side of him. It goes to ground. Zanotti picks up the scraps. And it doesn't quite break down completely for the Kangaroos, but there was a real opportunity on that right edge. It might still be on here. Lockie Cooper. They bring the ball infield to Nukarua Nagiri. And where are the Roos looking? Cooper's on the right side. They come left. This is Trey Williams. He runs himself. Into plenty of Blues traffic on this occasion, though. Couple tackles left here. Lockie Ingram in a dummy half. And a kick by Jake Kiley. Was it played at? Again, it's a wicked bounce for them. The referee says play on. This is Simbican. He gets it to Whenua Tonga. It's good defence, though, and the touchies flag is up. That is great scramble defence in the end from the Blues. Whenua Tonga, not an easy man to tackle. And on this occasion, they number up well. And they put out any sort of danger on this left edge.
Yeah, a bit of broken play there for the Kangaroos. They look like they might have had a bit of space here on the left just for that moment. but some excellent cover defence by the Blues ensured they were never too troubled.
It's been an exciting start to the second half. I think a lot of good attacking play from both sides. It's just that last pass that seems to have just let either side down. I think this first try after half-time is going to be quite telling. Well, regardless, the Blues back in possession. And that is Nick Marshall once again, getting through some heavy work. Now onto his centre partner in Jake Wheeler. Another strong game for Wheeler. Munro out to McLean. We have thoughts of an offload on this occasion. He's certainly trying. Yeah, just short of their 40-metre zone now. This is Munro. He goes to Patch. Patch throws a big dummy. He goes straight through. Zach Patch, he's got support either side of him. He's looking for Stuckey. Oh, he dummies! Zach Patch, well, he could sell ice to Eskimos with a dummy like that.
That was incredible work by Patch there. 2 brilliant dummies. I mean, they were excellent dummies, but I'm just amazed he's managed to split the defence open as widely as he did on that first one. And then he had 3 or 4 men in support. He just decided to dummy again. And an extra 30 metres to score.
That's fantastic work from Zach Patch. Good backing up from the likes of Josh Stuckey as well on his outside. If he doesn't have a support runner, they don't fall for the dummy. And in the end, as we mentioned before, it's a telling blow, the first try after half-time. Just takes that pressure off the Blues. They've looked likely every time they've had the ball in hand. And after 11 minutes of this second half, they go in front 26-12 with a kick from directly in front for Campese. He's had a good game today, Zach Patch. He's been very willing to run. It's not the first time that he's managed to thread his way through the Queanbeyan defensive line. If it were not for a try-saving tackle from Pugara early on in the first half, he would have had a double. On this occasion, he took the dummy, and the Blues extend their lead out. Terry Campese kicks his 4th goal for the afternoon. And we go out to 28-12, a 16-point margin now, and that task becomes just that little bit more difficult for the Queanbeyan Kangaroos.
I think the Roos defence would have been disappointed to let that one in. Well, it was brilliant individual play by Patch. You have to wonder how he beat such a set defensive line with one dummy.
Yeah, back underway now. Catch taken by Patch, the try scorer, off to McLean. Running off the back fence, he gets it out to the 20. He's a little bit slow to his feet. We'll see, okay, it looks like he's coming off as well. Campese throws a long cutout pass to Nick Marshall, who steps back on the inside. Well, we've seen Terry try that a couple of times, and on this occasion it picks his team up an extra 15-20 metres, and already they're back at the halfway line. This is some strong running from the Blues. And some ominous signs for the Kangaroos. It's Halalilo with that run. Now it goes off to that man, Michael Cullen. Campese down the blind side now. He chooses to run. He might go straight through. He has Terry Campese. Has he got the speed? He throws one pass too many. And it's intercepted on this occasion by Cronin. Jake Wheeler with a tackle in the end, but again, it looked likely for the Blues. They're just finding room very much up through the middle of this Kangaroos side, Vince.
They certainly are. It's pretty crazy to think they've only actually completed 2 sets so far this half, because so many passes just hitting the ground or not going to the man, but they're trying things, they're chancing their hand, and it's working reasonably well for them so far.
Yeah, it's just that last pass that seems to be going to ground rather than to hand. Will they rue these missed opportunities later on? Kangaroos have got a bit of work to do, though. They need to get a little more possession as Trey Williams. He tries for a 40-20 on this occasion. They're privy to it on this time. They let it bounce and Latu picks the ball up. That's a good tackle, is it? Sure is. No sign from the referee of a penalty there. They man up on Latu on that occasion as Kotrick goes infield for a run. He picks up a couple hard-fought metres for his side. Munro in a dummy half. Now out to Cullen. Again, no frills football here from from the Blues. Just simple stuff. Out to Campese. He's looking for runners either side of him. He takes this one into the defensive line. No sign of an offload this time. He's fighting in the play of the ball. Might have been a little bit all over him. Now this is Cole. Matty Cole turns it back on the inside. This is the number 8. Josh Hitchens looks like he's back on the field now. I think he might have come on to replace Scott McLean following that. He did get up a little bit groggy as Campese puts this one, just knocks it over the top. He scored a couple tries last week with kicks like that from Campese. On this occasion, we've got a penalty for a leg pull. Well, that's a pressure release. They've been good over the last 10 minutes. The Blues have built some nice pressure. This one just eases it up a little bit for the Kangaroos. Very much needed, Vince.
Certainly is. The Kangaroos haven't been able to get too much going in this second half, apart from that one set they had right on the Blues line. So this will be a good opportunity for them to get, if they can play smart football here, get a bit of momentum back.
And they certainly need to be the next to score. This is Cronin off the tap. He takes a couple metres, gets them almost up to the 40-metre line. This is Lockie Ingram. I don't think we'll see any more of James Aldrich today. He was another one that came off the field pretty groggy following a big hit. Now this is short ball. Was it forward? The referee says no, it's all good. As we've seen a shoe thrown, yes. I think Jaden Baxter is going to have to go back infield a little bit to find his shoe. The trainer's done him the courtesy and got it for him. Bit of gamesmanship from the Blues. Wouldn't expect anything less of Derby Day. Ingram in a dummy half. He goes to Wiley. Out the back now. This is Trey Williams. He kicks a little bit early, I thought. It's picked up by Stuckey. He's been Mr. Everywhere today, Josh Stuckey. This is Matty Cole out of dummy half. Hitting another good tackle over the top. It's Simbican on this occasion. And just working their way out of their own line now. Off their own line, the Blues. That was Taholo. This ball goes to ground. Breaks down in play. Now Michael Cullen. It's not the time to be making an error. Don't want to be inviting the Kangaroos back into this game. They can put this game to bed, I think, with another try, the Blues. Make it out to the 40-metre zone. This is Campese now. He'll kick. This is another good-looking torpedo. And Fanua. He picks the ball up. It ends up in his own in goal. Let's see him run back with a bit of steam now. It's hitting a good one-on-one tackle there. That's a very good tackle. It was Nick Marshall, the late inclusion for the Blues. As we mentioned before, he's not an easy man to tackle for Nuatonga. But Nick Marshall's just giving you all a DIY of how to do it. This is Simbican. Taken in, it might have been a fraction high. Didn't look too malicious. He might get the penalty on this occasion. He does. The penalty for not getting off him quick enough. He's rewarded for his strong run, and it's another pressure-relieving penalty for the Kangaroos, and the Blues just leaving the door slightly ajar for a Kangaroos comeback. .22 minutes to go in this game. Margin currently 16. Back underway through Josh Ayres. Up to the 40-metre line now. This is the 17, Jesse Dent. I don't think we've seen much of Jesse Dent in this game. He did spend a lot of time at dummy half last week in that game against Goulburn. It looks like he's going to find his way in that position once again today. The Kangaroos now 25 metres out from the Blues line. We're getting to that time where you need to start putting some points on the board. This is the number 10 for them. This is Jaden Baxter. He has already scored one today. This is Williams. We've seen a lot more involvement from him in this second half. Now we have last tackle. Looking for Lockie Cooper on last tackle here. This is Dent. They find Cooper. He puts this one high. Looking for the winger. Oh, what a kick it was from Lockie Cooper. And it's taken there by Eli Sinotti. And it all looks so simple. Beautiful kick from Lockie Cooper.
Sure was. That was a drop punt. That was straight out of the Aussie rules. He just lined it up all the time in the world. Knew exactly where he wanted that ball to go. And it never looked like it wasn't going to end up in a try. That was crazy. Needed a bit more urgency in defence there, the Blues, I think.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of kick pressure on him, and they never looked like taking that ball, the Blues. But it's an important try in the context of this game. I think another try there from the Blues. It might have been a little bit tricky for the Kangaroos to come back from, well, more than 16 points. But they find themselves another 4 points closer. It's an important kick from the sideline coming up for Lockie Cooper. We can plot this one over. He takes the field goal out of the equation. Not that that's what the Blues are thinking about just now, but prefer to be up in sixes. As we see the lights come on here at Seaford. It's getting a little bit darker out here in Queanbeyan. It's a beautiful day for football, though. Not a preferred side for a right-footed kicker here, Vince. As he moves in. Strikes it quite nicely. And he puts this one over the black dot. Well. We may still well have a game on our hands here. Lockie Cooper, what's over the extras? And that margin is down to 10. 28-18. Just feel it's just a case of the team that holds the ball, really. They've had plenty of attacking opportunities, both sides. It's just been the last pass that has gone to ground. I think we might be in for a really exciting finish here. As Campese gets us back underway. Oh, it's a good kick that gets a little bit big on them. But eventually it falls for the number 13. That's Troy Wiley. Now that's Jake Kiley. He brings it back out. 25 metres out from his own line. We've got another penalty. Well, this one for a second effort. And that momentum's starting to switch again, Vince.
Sure is. The Blues really are just inviting this pressure. They had the chance to really put the game away, and they're giving the Roos every chance of completing that comeback.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We'll have a look at that penalty count in a couple moments, but that's Josh Ayres. He takes it inside the 40 now. Good quick play the ball. This is Jesse Dent. He's fresh on the field. He steals another couple, 12 to 15 metres. It's a real opportunity here for the Roos. Williams in at dummy half. Goes short to Wiley. This time it finds Baxter. He gets up to play it. They come back to this left side. Williams, Simbican. He's looking. There's no threat of a pass. He doesn't need to because he's scored in the corner. Jeremiah Simbican, take a bow, son. That's a wonderful individual effort by Jeremiah Simbican, and it is all Kangaroos in the last 10 minutes, Vince.
Sure is. For all money, Simbican just had to do the pass there, get a try assist and send his winger over in the corner, but he knew what he was doing, held on to it, shrugged his way through the defenders, and that was an excellent piece of play, excellent strength shown there by Simbican.
Well, they had the numbers, the Blues. There wasn't anything of an overlap there. They were sliding, but they had the numbers. And in the end, it's just individual brilliance and strength and determination, as you mentioned, that gets Simbican across the line. And it's back-to-back tries for the Kangaroos lineup. And the Blues can hear the footsteps. All the momentum currently with the Kangaroos. You wonder what discussions are happening behind in the in-goal for the Blues at the moment. It's far too early to be protecting a lead, but they've got to start cutting out these penalties, Vince.
They sure do. And Isaiah Latu's been battling cramp or some sort of injury for the last 10 or so minutes, and it was out on his wing where the try was scored. So you have to wonder what the coaching staff are thinking there, if he will complete the game or if he'll have to get interchanged off at some point.
We will have to wait and see as Lockie Cooper lines this one up to bring his side to within 4 once again. Perfect angle from where we are, just above the grandstand, as Lockie Cooper moves in. He strikes, but he's put this one well wide. Well, disappointing kick for him. but they are still within a converted try of this Blues lineup. We've got a very exciting last 15 minutes of football here at Seaford Oval. 28 points to 22. The Blues still over the Kangaroos. As we mentioned, the Kangaroos have scored the last 2 tries back-to-back and suddenly are looking the more threatening of the two sides. Back underway via the Terry Campese boot. This kickoff taken a little easier. And that will be, I believe it's Troy Wiley that brings that ball back into the defensive line. Yes, it is. Now Whenua Tonga getting through some hard work of his own. Those bright orange boots, you can't miss him. Now one off the ruck. This is Jake Kiley. Taken up top by Michael Cullen. It's been good since he's come on as well. Now a short ball out to Baxter. And he might have lost his shoe again here. He has. This time, what's happening though? The ref said play on. And they steal a couple extra metres this time via Jesse Dent. Craving a penalty there, the Kangaroos are not forthcoming. And Trey Williams on last tackle, bit of pressure here. Finds itself to Lachlan Cooper, who does get a kick away in the end. It's a wonky old one, but he gets a wicked bounce, and that's play on for mine. It's still play on, and they get a bit opportunity in the corner here. If they can get there, they can't. Well, just a metre short of the line, we'll have a handover, but it very nearly all unravelled again for the Blues. It was the number 16, Gideon Afamui, who almost came up with the points at the end. But again, ball let to bounce. It's a good little kick on by, I think it was Sinotti. Almost falls away of the Roos again. Big moment in the game though, Vince.
Sure was. Just think of how the Blues nearly forced that handover back on the 40-metre line with Trey Williams. But he got the pass away to Cooper. And from there, nearly scored another miracle try, the Kangaroos. The ball's been bouncing their way a few times this game.
Halalilo outside his 20-metre zone now. Campese in a dummy half. He goes left to Taholo. And now we've got another offload here. It finds its way to Patch. There's no way through for him on this occasion. This time they muscle up. Good tackle by Williams and Whenua on that occasion. Now back to Taholo. And he's lost this ball. Well, the pressure is built. And now the Kangaroos will get another golden opportunity to attack that Blues line. And based on how they've been going, Vince, you'd almost back them in to score here.
You sure would. The Kangaroos in the second half, they've been unreal there. They've been very efficient every time they get up here. They've been looking like scoring. And that's the 5th error for the Blues of this second half. Just hasn't been good enough. They're inviting this pressure from the Kangaroos.
You're 100% right. They haven't given themselves the opportunities that they did in the first half. And as you mentioned before, they had a lot of potential try-scoring efforts go begging in this second half. Just last passes, not quite going the hand. And now, with a little bit of momentum going the way of the Roos, a couple of penalties, a couple of drop balls. Got a head full of steam at the moment as they look to continue right. This is Cooper. Goes out the back. This is Pagura. Shaped to kick. Chose not to in the end. Probably a wise decision early in the tackle count. No need to lose your head just yet. Campese over the top with the tackle. Now a long pass out to Cooper. To take it above his head. So it took him some time to bring it down. There's Troy Wiley with the pass back, the offload back. Now onto Baxter. Campese claiming the obstruction there, not forthcoming. Now Jesse Dent. He finds Wiley. Goes out the back now to Williams. This is Josh Ayres out to Simbican. That was touched by a Blues. This will be 6 to go, you'd think. It sure is. Now this is Whenua Tonga. He's dangerous in these situations. This time they take him just short of the 10-metre line. Jesse Dent. He goes short to Kiley. Jake Kiley. It's a slow play the ball, this one. Taken over the top by Hitchens. Jesse Dent finds Lockie Cooper. Now at the back to Pugara. Might have had numbers there, had the ball, found him cleanly. But it might need to, because he's going to march over to score, Brian Cronin. Well, it just opened up for him on the inside.
It did. They had the numbers out on the wing, and I think just the Blues all were just flooding across trying to be cover defence, and it just meant he just had to look straight and run straight through a huge gap in the line. And it ends up being a much easier kick for Cooper if he wants to level the scores here.
Oh, it looked far too easy. It was a ball that looked a little slow to get out to Cronin in the first place. You thought the opportunity had been lost, but he picked it up, saw the opportunity on the inside, and there was no one anywhere near him in the end. And as a result, we're looking at a potential 28-all scoreline with 10 minutes to play, and all the running with the Kangaroos. Some diabolical defence from the Blues on their own goal line. It hasn't looked convincing today.
And that the Kangaroos' third try in 10 minutes. So you'd have to say the boys, it's up to Terry Campese now to deliver some strong words behind that defensive line, or you have to say Kangaroos, all the momentum, looking pretty good as into the final 10 minutes.
Have they been very impressive in this second half? They've taken the opportunities that have been presented to them. They've held onto the ball. Haven't tried anything too extravagant. Haven't pushed that last pass as nearly as often as I think the Blues might have in this half. But there's still 10 minutes to go. And 10 minutes is a long, long time in rugby league. Anything can happen. Lockie Cooper needs to put this one over for one. Which he does. And we have a level ball game here at Seaford Oval. 28 all, and the clock ticks under 10 minutes to play. Well, we mentioned we're in for an exciting finish, Vince. And I think that's exactly what we're going to get.
We sure are. Level scores with 10 minutes to go. Can't ask for much more. But really, this match has just been one of swings and roundabouts. Had the Blues dominate, then the Kangaroos, and the Blues, then the Roos. So really, you can't tell which way this one's going to go, I think.
Now, at what point do you start thinking about a field goal? Is it too early?
Never too early, I reckon. I think if you pick it now, and then you can still muscle up in defence, maybe try score another try. I think go to field goal now if you're in the field position.
Whanua Tonga gets us back underway with his first run of this set. It finds its way to Wiley. That's Troy Wiley who'll play it just on his own 20-metre zone. Goes from Trey Williams. Ball a little bit, a bit of an offload now. It goes out the back further. This is Afamui. He tries to put a step on. He gets an offload away. And it goes to Cronin. And it goes to hand. And the referee is going to rule that this pass was forward. Well, we just talked about not throwing the one extra pass that didn't need to be thrown. And on this occasion, Gideon Afamui hasn't played a lot of minutes in this game. He almost scored one with one of his first touches of the game, and he was in a bit of space there. But probably not the pass that needed to be thrown.
No, I think he could have played the pass earlier, and he sort of regretted it as he fell to ground. And the referee made the correct call there. That pass wasn't on.
Opportunity for the Blues now. One off the scrum. It goes from Patch out to Stuckey. Out of dummy half now. This is Fatuani. Just short of the 30-metre zone now. Wonder if Campese's thinking field goal this early. It goes from Cole. This is Halalilo now. Couple metres inside the 30-metre line for the opposition. This is Fatuani out of dummy half. He's looking to go to the left. He goes to Campese. Campese hits a short runner. It's a good tackle up top. Might have been Jesse Den on that occasion. Now out of dummy half, Fatuani. He scoots very quickly. Just a couple metres out from the goal line now, and he almost manages to sneak over. Last tackle. He's slow to his feet. They find Campese. What's he thinking? He puts a little grubber through. It's going to find the in goal, and Simbican, he's got work to do. But boy, does he do it well. Not only does he get out, he makes his way back out to the 15 metres out from his goal line. Great kick return from Jeremiah Simbican. Gets a quick play the ball as well. Lockie Cooper goes himself from dummy half. He picks up 10 metres and a penalty for his side. Oh, that's a big passage of play for the Kangaroos.
Sure is there, and you'd have to say the Blues' discipline really cost them in the second half. That's their 5th penalty of the half already. Just inviting this pressure and welcoming the comeback from the Kangaroos.
Yeah, not a good time to be giving away that penalty as well. We've got, I think it's just under 6 minutes to play here. It'll be just under 7 minutes, beg your pardon. And the Kangaroos are going to be in prime field goal position if they wish to take it. This is Afamui now. No thoughts of an offload on this occasion. Tackle just beyond the 30-metre line. This is Lockie Ingram in a dummy half. Wiley throws the dummy. Gets them inside the 30. Are they setting up for it? Who in their side has got the capability to kick one? Trey Williams is here. He turns it back on the inside. It's a good tackle down low. They did enough. They look to go left. This is Trey Williams. He hits a short runner in Josh Ayres. But we see an offload. Looks like he might be held up just a metre short of the line here. And now the ball's come free. What's the referee going to say? He's looking at his touch judge. He calls knock on. Well, that is... And now we've got a penalty for back chat. Well, you don't want to compound the error, and that's exactly what they've done.
That's exactly right there. They were in position. Cooper was looking like he might be setting up for the field goal. They've turned that around to dropping the ball and then giving away the penalty. And all of a sudden it's the Blues' chance.
Yeah, it's another big passage of play in this game. It's been a roller coaster ride, this match. Lots of momentum swings. Are we about to see the deciding one? They'll start this set out 30 metres out from their own goal line. There is a bit of a breeze picking up here at Seaford Oval as well. A bit hard to tell which way it's going. Might be coming across the field. So we're back underway. This is Aidan Woods, the try scorer, back on the field now. He's had an extended break on the bench. This is Vetuani. He goes one off the ruck. This is Taholo. They drive him backwards a couple metres, just short of his 40-metre line. He gets up to play it. Now this is Halalilo. He gets an offload away. They're still willing to throw the ball around here, the Blues. And now this occasion, it looks like the ball's come free, but we've got another penalty for a strip. This is an interesting call. It looked like he was certainly trying to get the ball away with an offload. This call goes in their favour, and they are very much in field goal territory now, the Blues. Are they thinking that, or will they go for the killer blow? Big set of 6 coming up here. This is Latu with the tap. Steps into a couple of defence. He beats one. Eventually taken there over the top by Josh Ayres. Vetuani. He goes to Stuckey. Taken there by the 2. And Zach Patch calling, demanding to be in a dummy half here. He goes out to Taholo, out to Campese, who hits Cullen, running that second rower line and getting pulled down just a couple metres short of the goal line. This is Cole at dummy half. Campese demanding the ball. He gets it. What's he do? He turns Halalilo back on the inside. Surely they're looking for a point here. Campese, he's just beyond the 10-metre line. They go to him. Campese out the back. This is Stuckey. This is Latu. And a good tackle over the top in the end. It needed to be made, but they're out of position for a point now. It goes to Campese. What's he going to do? It's last tackle. He throws it out the back to Matty Cole. And they're tackled with the ball in hand. That's a poor end of the 6. And they're let off the hook here, the Kangaroos. And the referees stop play for now, just to make sure things are all in order. And we will have a handover just short of their own 20-metre line. But wow, what an opportunity to seal the game there, Vince.
You'd have to say that was poor game management on 4th tackle. I don't know why they went so far out wide. Surely you just set up for the field goal. They might not get another chance.
Yeah, you expect your senior players to step up in those moments, as we see an offload away to Pugara. And already they're out to 40 metres out from their own line. Lockie Cooper jumps in a dummy half. He steals another 15, 20 metres. And now the Kangaroos are going to be very much in position to take a point. And this time, there's no marker here. So Ingram runs another couple metres. This is the 17. This is Jesse Dent. 25 metres out from the line. Just simple football here. This is Troy Wiley. Where are the one-pointers? They're looking at Cooper. Here it is, Lockie Cooper. He lines it up. He's still got time here. He's got an eternity. He takes a shot. He has missed it to the right. To the left, beg your pardon. Well, he had plenty of time to set himself for that one.
He did well to beat the initial chase, and then he had all the time in the world. And I really thought he was going to ice that one.
Well, that was it. There's 2 minutes to play. You would have backed the Roos in from there.
Now 7 tackles for the Blues.
That's right, 7 tackles set from their 20. It's just 1 minute and 45 to play in this second half. Remember, there is no golden point. We will play to a draw if it stays this way. As this is Michael Cullen bashing himself into the line. Campese in a dummy half. They go down this blind side. This is Fatuani. Campese out to Aidan Woods. He takes this one back up into the middle. Tuani now to Campese. Out to Halalilu. He steps on the inside, beats one. They're 40 metres out here, probably a little too far at the moment to take it on this occasion. Taholo, he takes this one through the middle, and now they're 30 metres out. They're looking for Patch and Campese. This is Campese. He takes a shot at it. Has he got the height and the legs? This one looks like it might have just gone to the right-hand side. And we've had another missed shot at field goal. Well, he didn't kick that one too sweetly, but it almost looked like it was going to sneak over.
It was certainly an ugly kick, but just for a moment, I thought it might have snuck over the crossbar, but just wide.
Nagiri brings it back. It's a 7-tackle set for the Kangaroos now. This is Cooper. He looks to go wide. They're chancing their arm here, the Kangaroos. Still looking for that killer blow. We might have a lost ball here. And that's exactly what we've got. We've got a lost ball, so we may have one last chance here for the Blues to steal a victory. Scrum packed very, very quickly. Just waiting to see when the ref calls time off. He does. And we'll have 13 seconds. So probably time for maybe 2 plays at most.
I think they've just got to go for the one tackle, and then KP's got to line up no matter where they are and try to snatch a field goal and snatch a win.
I think you're right. Just one through the middle, a quick play the ball, and we know Terry's got a big right boot on him. He might be looking at this very early. He's in at first receiver here.
Maybe he does. Maybe he goes straight off the scrum. Perhaps a bit more time there.
Here we go. The scrum's fed. It goes to Campese. He takes it early. It's a wonky old kick. And it is well wide, but it's gone well dead as well. I think that'll do us here at Seaford Oval. With just a second to play, the siren will go off. The clock is at 0. I don't think we've heard a siren as of yet. I think the referee's just waiting for the same confirmation, and there it is. And he will call full time, and what a game of football we've seen at Seaford Oval. A 28-all draw. And this game has had pretty much everything. We've had momentum swings, we've had fortuitous tries, we've had wonderful individual tries, and in the end, the teams are going to share the points, Vince.
That's exactly right. I think when the Blues ran out to that 16-0 lead early on, you thought they could be reaching the half-century again, but then the Kangaroos came back, and then with about 10 or 15 minutes left in that second half, you thought there's no way the Blues could hold on. And then perhaps a fair result, a draw in the end. Both teams had their share of dominance, and in the end, 28 all. So
we'll just go through the full-time score here, 28 all. These were your try scorers. Over to you, Vince.
So we had Latu in the first half, followed by Wheeler and Woods for the Blues, and then we had Cronin and Baxter for the Kangaroos, and Kotrick just on half-time. In the second half, we had the half-back Patch with that excellent solo try, followed by Sonoti for the Kangaroos. Then Simbican scored that solo effort for Queanbeyan Roos, and then Cronin crossed for his double to level the scores at 28 all.
That's the final word from you, Vince. Thanks very much. Appreciate your time today. Don't forget, we cross to the maroon side of Queanbeyan next Saturday afternoon for the Headline Bar TV game, where the Roos take on the West Belconnen Warriors at Sears Workwear. And until next time, we'll wish you a very good night.